I think it can be really easy to view asking questions as a candidate as a box you need to check, right? I asked some good questions. It has demonstrated that I'm interested in the role. It's shown I've done some research. We're good to go. But it can be so much more than that. What if you could ask questions in your initial interview that would make you a better candidate in your final interview? You can, and today I'm going to show you how to do just that. Hi, this is Ben with Ben Talks Talent. If you were seeing this on YouTube and you haven't already, please like and subscribe. If you were seeing this on LinkedIn, please like and comment below and I'll respond. But also, when we're done here, head over to YouTube because I put all my videos there, including some exclusive ones that I don't actually put on LinkedIn. That being said, let's jump into the video. I think it's so easy to just view questions when you're a candidate as something you want to get out of the way, ask some questions and move on. And those of you who have seen my videos before know I feel very differently about this. I feel like it can be a great way to show that you're interested. It's a great way to gain more information. But it's also, if you do it right, it can make you a better candidate for the final interview. I'm going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about questions that you can ask in the first round. So maybe with a recruiter or an HR manager, that'll make you better prepared to crush your interview when you're meeting with the hiring manager and hiring team. So the first one, where did the previous employees fall short? So this is a question that I would ask when you ask, why is the position open, right? So that's the 1-2 punch. You start with why is the position open? And in a perfect world, it's because the person who is in the role has been promoted. That's a good thing. It shows there's growth there. But when the person was fired, you want to find out why. And part of the reason you want to find out why is you want to find out what they lacked. What did they not do? Maybe they go, well, the other person, they just weren't hands-on enough. This isn't just a role where you're influencing other people. We want someone who's actually going to be on the floor and helping with manufacturing and being a really hands-on quality engineer, for an example here. That's really good information because what do you do with that information? You take that and in your final interview, as you're answering the interview questions from the hiring manager, you talk about how you like being hands-on. You find a way to insert that into your interview answers, talking about how you're really hands-on. You don't just lead from the back, you like to lead from the front. Whatever it is, the information you can find out as to why a person was let go, that's something that they are actively trying to solve with this hire. They want the person who they are going to hire to have that as part of what they bring to the table. So it's a great way to find out information the last person was lacking, so you can talk about how you have whatever traits that person lacked in your final interview. Let's go to the second one. So the second one, what are the traits? So this is a little bit different, right? This one's actually helpful if they go, oh, the person was promoted. You can go, okay, great. And then you can follow up by saying, what are the traits of employees who are successful in roles like this, in this role or other roles like this? Because then they're going to kind of give you the traits that are important. Maybe it's attention to detail, maybe it's pace, maybe it's someone who's a good teammate. Whatever they say there, that, like the previous question, is information you want to take, you want to internalize it, and then you want to use that in subsequent answers. When you're meeting with the hiring manager, whatever, a week from then, you want to make note of all the things this person is saying, all the things that have made past people in this role succeed, and then you want to use that as part of your interview answers. Next one. In what major ways do you see this department changing moving forward? So this is valuable for a handful of reasons. I personally like knowing this because if there's going to be some kind of big change coming up or some sort of evolution of the department, I want to know before I agree to coming into it, right? What if they're going to change in a way that's going to make the role a lot less satisfactory to you? You probably want to know that, right? Yes, you do. But what if they're going to make a change in which you happen to be a much better fit? So sometimes that could be system, sometimes it can be the way, the functions of the actual role. They could say, hey, we're gonna be undergoing a significant shift in which our people now function like blank. And if you've done that in the past, or maybe it's a system and you've used that system in the past, then you can talk about it. Say they're changing from some sort of different system, whatever system it would be, that you would use in your role. And they go, Ben, we're going from blank to blank. And then you go, oh my gosh, well, I know how to use that. When you go to the next interview round, you can reference that. You can talk about how you're an expert in that area. This is really valuable when you're talking about a system or a program or some sort of tool, because that hiring manager is probably worried about how their people are going to adapt. Is there going to be a period of time in which there's a learning curve? The answer is yes. Well, you can kind of mitigate that learning curve if you have somebody who's already well-versed in the tool or system or whatever it is. So you want to ask those transformational questions so you can understand how the department is going to change, but also if you're suited to help accelerate that change. I think that's really important. So I would always ask that. All right, what's the next one? The next one, what objectives need to be accomplished in year one for this person to be successful? This is super important for a few reasons, so there's two. The first reason is you want to make sure that that's possible, right? If they lay out a goal that is so ambitious that you, just upon hearing it, go, there is no way I am going to be able to do that, that to me I would have pause about moving forward in the process or accepting the role. If I knew that their expectations were unreachably high, it would certainly be a cause for concern. Flip side, if they tell you something, you go, okay, that's achievable, and they kind of lay out what success looks like, that is really valuable. You can look at that and go, okay, that's what they need to do, and then you speak to that in your final interview, right? They talk about this is what needs to happen, and you can say, in past roles, I've done blank, which basically is gonna be the same thing that they're asking for. It's just a great way for you to get that information and then use it to make your answers that much more powerful in the final interview. All right, and then the last one, this one's kind of similar, but it's a bit different enough that I might still ask it, and that's, what are the top 2 to 3 things that this person's going to be responsible for in their role? I've recruited on tons of roles over the past 11 years, and one of the things that I've found to be pretty consistent is that most roles have 2 or 3 major things that you need to be successful at, and when you can do those things, you're gonna be good at the role. Knowing exactly what those things are, and if you can, the order of importance is really critical to helping you understand what it takes to be successful in the role, but I also think it's really valuable because then you can use that information, again, for your answers in your final interview. When they're asking you for examples of things you've done in the past, and you know that the vast majority of the things you're going to be required to do are A, B, and C, then your answers need to pull from you doing A, B, and C at previous employers. And if you can do that, again, your examples are so much more powerful. So there you have it. Those are kind of candidate interview questions 202. Ask those questions in round 1 to make you a better candidate in round 2 or 3, your final interview. I appreciate you take the time to stop by. Again, if you're seeing this on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're seeing this on LinkedIn, please go over to YouTube and subscribe. You'll get all my content there. Thank you for taking the time today. Good luck in your next interview. You've got this.